And I also was broke in.
Mm-hmm.
The school was broke in,
Uh-huh.
and that was another very sad thing. And we knew who it was, and
Uh-huh.
they did a lot of damage. But the parents came in
Mm-hmm.
and helped clean up the glass and the damage. And we had school, I think, the next day or the day after that.
When was that break in about?
Gosh, I don't remember the date, but I know I've got a paper clipping. I don't remember the date.
Probably the late 1970s, in that time
In the
frame,
70s.
Yeah,
In one of the
yeah,
70s.
yeah, yeah. Um, I remember reading the Plymouth Observer article that was written when you retired in December of 1985, and in the interview you were mentioning that you feel that towards the end of your teaching career, it was getting harder to teach because there were more and more one-parent homes, and the parents aren't as involved as they used to be in the 50s and 60s. And is that?
Well, I always had a lot of parent support,
Uh-huh.
but you must understand the school that I was in, there were a lot of one-parent families.
Yes.
They could not get involved because they were working just to make ends meet.
Right.
But I had a support from when the Allen School parents were relocated to our school, Starkweather School.
Uh-huh.
There was a lot of apprehension on their part. Going from Allen School was a relatively new. Tom Workman was a principal there.
Uh-huh.
And then this whole subdivision was moved to Starkweather School.
Now, was that because of a boundary change?
Yes.
As a boundary change.
Okay.
But those parents turned out to be my most supportive parents.
Uh-huh.
Once they saw the school and how dedicated the teachers were,
Mm-hmm.
and how dedicated the principal was,
Uh-huh.
and how interested we were in the welfare of each student,
Right.
they accepted us with open arms.
Yes.
And they became my greatest supporters and teachers' greatest supporters.
You.
And though they were more of an affluent
Mm-hmm.
shop or subdivision.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But it was good. It was good for them.